And also for those participants on Zoom, if you would like to ask questions, please use the chat icon on the Zoom window and ask your questions through that function there. So now to begin our question and answer portion, I'll open it up to our in-house audience. If there's any questions, you can please ask, raise your hand or ask any questions. I'll have to repeat those for the microphone so that people on Zoom can hear. Yes?
On AAUW, what's the membership? Do you have to be a graduating college?
Okay, now I'll just repeat the question for the Zoom participants, and that was for AAUW membership. What are the qualifications and pathways to join?
We have student members and students at our affiliate colleges, which includes Park University, the Metropolitan Community Colleges, Kansas City, Kansas Community College. They can have a free, what they call an e-affiliate membership, and they can do that online. For regular members, anyone with a certificate, a 2-year degree, a 4-year degree or higher is eligible for membership.
Now, while we take a second, I'll ask Mike if there are any questions on Zoom. There aren't any yet. Well, that's all right. I've got some questions lined up I'd like to ask. Let me just ask one real quick, and this is for Hillcrest, Platte County. How many residents annually go through your housing program, and how many are on the waiting list? On an estimate.
Okay, we have 34 apartments that are available to the residents, and they turn on average of every 90 days. So I'm going to say 100 to 120 a year. Mhm.
That's awesome.
And we do have a waiting list. There's a process to being entered into the program. You make an application online, you fill that out, and then you have to call in every day to keep reminding us. Basically, it's a test to see how resilient you're going to be and how bad do you want to get in. And so they call in every day to say, yes, I'm still interested. They're called in for a first interview. They go through that interview. They are drug tested. They do have to be drug and alcohol free. And then they will be called in for a second interview. So the process from application to entering the program could take anywhere from 3 to 10 days. It just depends.
Wow.
Yeah.
Question out here in the audience?
Do you just serve Platte County?
And that question is for Hillcrest, do you just serve Platte County?
That is our primary, but that is not, we are not exclusive. We serve anyone. So if someone, we had a young lady that was in the Shawnee Mission Hospital that they called because they were desperately searching for a program for her. She was 19 years old. And we went down and picked her up and brought her up. So we're not exclusive.
Do they have pets?
No.
And that follow-up question is, are pets permitted? And that was no. I have a question here for the Platte County Senior Fund. Again, like I was alluding to, being a non-senior, but really interested and passionate about intergenerational learnings and community. How can a non-senior support the Platte County Senior Fund or its individual programs?
Well, some programs we have had volunteers lately with the pandemic, and since I've been there, we have not. But
Volunteer through each program?
volunteer, and also really they can really volunteer through PSSI, which is a Platte Senior Services Senior Center. So that would be the best bet, because they always need, drivers for home delivered meals, which that's what they've been doing during this whole pandemic, is making sure that seniors do not go hungry.
Right on. Yeah, because I was thinking that, thank you, that the resource to connect senior, say for example, my parents, how can I make that connection, and I think it's just all about reaching out and making the phone call. And that's what I've heard is that this is this is the connection. This is the resource for everything that a senior may need. This is a starting point for that connection. And so I guess this isn't really a question as much as just something that I'm really happy to say out loud, that for any need that comes up for senior citizens, we have a connection point. And that's really, really awesome and inspiring for me. So thank you.
Right, and because we're only one out of 55 counties that have a senior levy fund. There's 115 counties in the state of Missouri. We are one of the lucky ones. And I have to thank Marty Zersky for really striving and putting all her efforts in back in 1989 to get this passed. So thank you very much, Marty. Marty is also a founding board member. She still serves on the board. She is committed to the community and to seniors. So thank you very much, Marty, from the bottom of my heart.
There were a lot of questions, or actually responses about how wonderful this program was, first off. And so lots of compliments about the program that you offer, the programs that everyone offers. Carla Dodds has a question for Hillcrest. She wants to know, how many young adults does Hillcrest serve each year?
We have we purchased fourplexes, and we have 2 fourplexes that are devoted to young adults currently. Each one of those, we put 2 per apartment. So we have room for 16 young adults. Their program is a little longer term, and so they could stay up to 18 months. Now, having said that, it is a very volatile age. We might have one come in and say, after a month, I'm out of here. You know, structure's not my thing, and they leave. We just had 2 that we moved to Next Steps to Success because they were doing so well, but just needed to complete some schooling. And so, you know, on average, we might process, I would say 35 to 40 a year. Some hang in there and some don't.
That was it from Zoom. All right. So are there any other questions from the audience? Any engagement here? No? I think we've done a good job at providing connection points to all of these resources, whether it's, you know, seniors, homelessness, or the women's movement that's happening right now. I kind of don't want to summarize it because these ladies have done such an amazing job at explaining, setting up, and leading these organizations that I'd really just let the organizations speak for themselves. I'll make connection points on our website, but I really want to stress how, I don't want to say easy, but how comfortable it is to make these connections and to reach out and pick up the phone and to get some questions answered that you may have. And these ladies and these organizations are so willing to connect, to help, and to support this community elevate that that it's okay if you have a question later and it comes to a person that you're not really sure about. You know, the Living Center, Senior Fund, Hillcrest, AAUW, these are just a sample of the many services that we have that support our community and ways in which we can live into our purpose as community members. And so I just wanted to stress that before we close, and thank Parkville Presbyterian Church for letting us use this space, for all of our speakers for coming in and offering your time to share with our community, and for our attendance both on Zoom and in person. Thank you so much for coming here, for being curious, and for taking what you learn here out in the community and continuing the conversation. The Parkville Living Center is a blossoming beginning organization, so we can use all the support that you can offer. So please visit our website, see ways that you can connect, and help us to continue these forums and to continue the work of connecting our community with the services and organizations that exist here for us, for our community, for you. So thank you very much, and that concludes our town hall for tonight.